I absolutely love this show. And you know what? I couldn't believe, Jon, that this was your first lead role since Mad Men, because I've seen you in so many different roles. I just saw you during Mad Men. What was the reason you wanted to be a part of this show?
Part of it was really being a fan of Jonathan Tropper's. I loved his writing, not just his TV and film stuff, but his novels and short stories. He's a wonderful storyteller, and I knew that I was in good hands. Part of being executive producer on this, I got to weigh in on a lot of the creative decisions, including hiring Craig Gillespie as the director of the first 2 episodes, really establishing the look and the tone of the show. And I worked with Craig on $1 Million Arm and loved his work on I, Tonya and Corella and other things. So I really felt like I was in good hands, and I knew that we could really make something that I think would be special. Getting a chance to be instrumental in casting Amanda Peet and Olivia Munn as well, 2 people who I knew socially but had never really worked with, was great too. I was very thrilled to be a part of that and felt very taken care of.
No one would ever suspect a guy like me.
How are the kids?
Oh, they're fine.
Wife?
Ex-wife.
Well, I gotta deliver some bad news. You're fired.
What?
Amanda and Olivia both just spoke so highly of working with you, both on screen but also as EP. So what was it like working with them? What were the highlights?
Truly great. Part of casting someone to play your wife or ex-wife or however you want to do it, sort of the fake family that you're creating in this world, is that you have to have kind of almost a shorthand that exists. And Amanda and I have that. We've been friends for a long time. I'm dear friends with her and her husband David, and the same goes for Olivia and Jon. It's really nice to have kind of a built-in backstory almost of being friends with these people. So the relationship looks almost effortless on camera, and it really adds a deeper layer to that. So really wonderful.
How you doing, Coop? You okay?
Hey, you too. Can I just say, I love that you had such a friendly divorce.
Hi.
Hi. It's getting harder to pretend that nothing's going on.
I couldn't help but think about, this affluent community with all the money in the world, yet all the problems in the world. Was it hard to jump into that space and play this role, a guy who has it all but is losing it all? How did you kind of relate to that?
Well, I think, look, not everybody can relate to sort of not being able to make their $300,000 mortgage or fix their $250,000 car or whatever, but people can certainly relate to losing their jobs and especially now understanding that things cost a lot. And it seems like you're always kind of trying to keep plates spinning to make ends meet. I think that's really where we are. And obviously the mathematics of scale kind of explode on in this particular community, but it's certainly relatable in that way. And I certainly hope that people don't turn to stealing from their friends and neighbors, but I do think that there is some kind of vicarious thrill that people have when they watch rich people kind of behaving badly.
Life boils down to a series of interconnected decisions. You get the house, the cars, the stuff. But how the hell could everything go so wrong so fast?
Has anyone ever told you that you talk a lot?
Well, I misplaced my inner monologue and my wife right around the same time.
Yeah, I mean, just the prices of the watches. I was like, oh my gosh, this is real life. Like, these are real watches that people own.
This is not made up. This is not a fake. The only thing we made up in the show is the toilet. The toilet is fake.
I did like the
toilet.
But
there
are
$10,000 toilets out there.
I'm sure.
You can find one
if you want to spend the money. We'll find a toilet. The fact that this has already been renewed for a second season is a great sign that there's, a lot of support for the show. What does that mean to you, and what can we expect in the future moving on with the show?
Well, what it means for me really is about 3 days after the show premieres and 2 days after I host Saturday Night Live, I'm going to be on set working on shooting season 2. So
that's awesome.
It's exciting. It's great. I've read about 8 of the 10 episodes that have come out that Jonathan has written, and it's great. It's a exciting new chapter of the show. We stay in the world. We kind of keep exploring these relationships, and it's building upon what we have established in the first season, which in and of itself is a fantastic watch and a super compelling story. You mentioned SNL. I tell me, what is it like hosting? I mean, what is that experience like? Are there nerves? Because for an actor, it's such an honor, but it's also, you're on the spot a bit. Well, It's been 15 years since I've hosted.
15
I hosted
years?
3 times in 2 years, but that was a long time ago. So if there were nerves, I've forgotten about them. I don't know. I do know that, again, you're in very good hands with Lauren and Steve Higgins and Colin and Eric Kenward and all the writers and cast there. It's fun. That's the most important thing to remember, is that there's nothing like it in the world of television. It's a unicorn. So enjoy it. You know, it's super fun, and I'm honored to be asked back.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch. The show is steamy. I was thinking about that too. Is it challenging, I asked Amanda and Olivia, for their significant others to watch in these moments? I mean, is that a conversation that you guys have?
You know, you certainly have to ask their significant others, but I do know both David and John, who are married to Amanda and Olivia, respectively. But, you know, I think part of it is, look, it's the business that we are in. So sometimes there are those awkward situations of like, I just made out with your wife. Hope that's okay.
Hope that's cool.
Yeah, we're cool, right, bro? You know, so no, it's all above board, and that's why there are intimacy coordinators. And
Sure.
That's why we're all adults, and we have to have the awkward conversations.
And
often.
lastly, your tennis skills really impressed me.
Hey, thanks. Do you play?
I do. That was
Nice.
real. I could tell right away that was you hitting.
Yeah.
I mean, that has to feel good to kind of show it off a bit.
It was fun. You know, I love tennis. I picked up tennis very late in my life, in my 30s, and I'm a fanatic about it. I wish I was better. I wish I had more time to practice and get better. But yeah, it's fun. I love doing it. It's I love watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm certainly not that good, but man, when you watch those guys at that high level,
It's amazing.
It's tremendous.
Have you seen it in person?
Yeah, I got to go to the U.S. Open and Wimbledon and the French Open, and I saw Alcaraz, I saw Djokovic, I saw Federer, I saw so many of the great players, Serena. It is impressive.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Nothing like
In person, I agree. Well,
Except for the NHL.
other than that, the Stanley Cup. And maybe, you'll end up there this year.
Fingers
Hopefully
crossed.
not for the Wild, but thank you, John. It
Lovely
was so
talking
nice to
with you.
meet you.
Yes, indeed.